Hey guys, Lorcan here, and welcome to the Season 4 skin showcase video that I did previously for Season 3, about a few months ago. And more likely already this will be the last time I'll have to do this, because as of today, when I record this, like literally about, I want to say almost an hour ago, Warner Brothers officially announced that MultiVersus will be shutting down, with season 5 being the last seasonal content edition to be added in the game. That's planned for February 4th until the 30th of May. So, just a year in, we're already dead in the game already. I should really stop announcing that I'm planning to do things with this game, because it's just going to keep dying every time. But yeah, unfortunately, season 5 will be the last season for MultiVersus, so meaning probably at June of this year, I might have to stop making MultiVersus videos as a result. So, last two new characters that's also going to be added in the game as well, that will be coming out later in February 4th, will be DC's Aquaman and Looney Tunes' Lola Bunny. I have a very mixed feelings about this whole decision. Like, on one hand, the game has been underperforming for Warner Brothers, which technically, from a studio's point of view, it makes sense why they would not want to support it anymore. But as a gamer, well, casual gamer, I should say, and as someone who has played MultiVersus since the closed alpha, about almost 3 years ago, that old video of me playing as Tom and Jerry, the closed alpha is still on my channel. So I have been a MultiVersus player for almost 3 years now. And to see this game die not only once when the open beta ended, but die a second time within a year is so upsetting. Especially considering, well, given this video, I spent a lot in this game. So, just for a quick thing, the Glamium is no longer an option. I can no longer buy real money on MultiVersus anymore, so I don't know how exactly Season 5 is going to work out. Beyond that, both Aquaman and Lola Bunny will be earnable through gameplay. There's no currency bullshit going on with it. So I'll find out what's the cases with them and what new skins they'll potentially get while the game is on its life support. But as of right now, as I did back a few months ago when Season 3 was ending, there was still a lot of skins that were added during out Season 4 from November till February now. So let's just take a quick look. Let's see that for maybe the last time in the game, I don't know, maybe Season 5's Battle Pass will contain new skins for all the characters in the game, especially some that have yet to be released. But as of right now, let's just check and see, at least for Season 4, who currently got costumes within the season and who got the most love out of all the characters. Starting off, we have Agent Smith, who, in comparison to Seasons 2 and 3, who only got one new costume addition to the game, Season 4 at least improved things with the character by having him have two new costumes. Having his second exclusive costume with the System Freeze Agent Smith costume, as well as his second rare costume with the Trigon Possessed Agent Smith. I don't know if the character will get any more skins after Season 5 goes through, but as of right now, this is at least the last bunch of skins with Agent Smith that you can get at the moment. Even then, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, because it's still Glamium, and again, you can't technically buy it anymore, so I don't know what's the case with this, but yeah, at least for Agent Smith, he at least got a significant improvement from Season 3 and 2. Next up is Arya, who did not get anything during out Season 4. So, again, judging how things might go, this might be the last bunch of costumes related to the character. Um, it's kind of surprising she didn't get anything for season 4, but, this is what it is at the moment. For Arya, she had a decent lineup of costumes, mainly on the uncommon range, but she did have a few decent rare costumes, especially two from Game of Thrones itself, the show itself. They didn't get mainly a lot of original stuff, but for Arya, she had one of the better lineup of skins, at least in terms of character selections. Banana Guard also similarly did not get anything new at all throughout season 4, which is kind of surprising, really, to be honest. But yeah, this might be Banana Guard's last bunch of costumes in the game. Again, he wasn't really an expensive character. Like, you already get Banana Guard for free anyway. So all the skins for him are fairly basic, but cheap enough compared to other characters in the game. Next up is Batman, who definitely got the most love throughout season 4, as we got 2 more exclusive costumes with the character, with the Minster Grenza Batman costume here, as well as the Black Fighter Championship Batman, which is basically the exact same thing as the Gotham Guardian skin, just with a purple shirt instead of a black one. That's legit the only real difference. But he also got a Headmaster Rain outfit, and finally he got the Polar Vortex Batman outfit. Again, considering, Batman, depending on how things go, I may be saying that word, a few words a lot, but Batman's definitely one of the more expensive characters to buy skins on, to be honest. Like, look how many there is, and the uncommon, I think there's some variety for Batman that's cheap. I only got like 2 rare costumes. You only got one on Epic variant, which was like under the Prestige store currency. And then you had like 3 exclusive, which one was like a Twitch drops thing. And then you got 4 legendaries. That is insane for Batman. But I guess that really showed that player first games really liked Batman. Next up is Beetlejuice, who only had 1 new costume added during the season, which was his ugly sweater Beetlejuice, which was, I believe, a part of the second half of the Battle Pass, so at least this one was for free. Yeah, the Beetlejuice definitely got the short end of the stick in terms of costume variety throughout the game, only having like 5 skins. Maybe, throughout season 5 you might get 1 or 2 more, but at the moment he definitely did not get much out of all the characters in the game, which is kind of upsetting as a fan of Beetlejuice, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Next up is Black Adam, who only got 1 new costume added during the season, with his Tricon-possessed Black Adam outfit. Black Adam is another one who, like Arya, had a decent lineup of skins. But a lot of it was on the Battle Pass side of things with the character, but you only got 1 legendary, like 1 epic, and then you had a lot of rares and uncommons with the character. Still, like, it's all the same par with Arya, where yeah, it might be a bit expensive, but compared to other characters, I bet he was a lot cheaper to buy in comparison. Next up is Bugs Bunny, who only got 1 new costume added during this season, with his ugly sweater outfit too. So, surprisingly for Bugs, he got at least not as much attention throughout season 4 compared to the other 3 seasons. But when you really look at how many costumes Bugs has in general, like, it's funny to think he never got a legendary costume at all throughout the game. The mascot himself didn't get any legendary skins, but for what it's worth, I think Bugs still got some of the best animated looking skins, at least. They'll all look visually good for the character in that, but yeah, I don't know, at least he got something during the season, but it's still, wasn't much compared to other characters. Next up is Finn, who got absolutely nothing throughout season 4 either. Like, you think with the season being on with Marceline, you think some of the Adventure Time characters would get something out of this, but nope, nothing from them either. Again, at least Finn similarly had like a decent lineup. Like he had a lot of uncommon skins, like a decent amount of rare costumes, which is from the show itself. And you got like one legendary and one epic costume. But still, for Finn, it feels like they could have picked a little bit, pick a lot more costumes with the character. But yeah, that's kind of with Finn's costumes as well. Again, unless season 5 adds one more new one in there somewhere. There's Fortnite probably being updated in the back if you happen to see it. I don't know if the recording caught that, but whatever. So yeah, that's for Finn. He got nothing during out season 4. Garnet just barely managed to get at least one new costume during out the season. That she also got a Plat Fighters Championship Garnet skin. So again, this was from the Twitch top, so that was about it. But it's literally the same thing as the Joker Clown Squad t-shirt, just with the purple shirt instead. Garnet got at least a decent amount of love from like the wear side of things of her costumes anyway. Decent lineup of uncommons. Again, she never had a legendary skin. Like the most she had was the reunited Garnet skin. That was like the most expensive thing she got throughout the whole game. So yeah, nothing like she got one costume throughout season 4 anyway, but when you really consider the quality of said skin, it's not really much, and it's her only exclusive outfit too. Gizmo only had one costume added throughout the season with Polar Vortex Gizmo. At least Gizmo still got something, at least throughout every season. Anyway, I think out of all of Gizmo's outfits, he only really had like 2 from the movie. Like from the first film. Really, I think that's only really Gizmo's like the second film. Everything else has been like original with Gizmo. Anyways, still like with Gizmo, he had a decent amount of costumes, I'll say, but at least he still got something turned out season 4 as well. Next up is Harley Quinn, who definitely got a lot of love as well during the season, as she too came with a Plat Fight Championship t-shirt of Harley Quinn, which is the same thing as her Clown Squad costume, just with the t-shirt variant in there too. But she also got as well a Naughty List Harley Quinn outfit, and finally her Polar Vortex Harley Quinn. So Harley definitely got a lot of love during that MultiVersus lifetime. She really got a lot of costumes, playing with certain designs of the character, across the entirety of the character's history. So Harley definitely got a lot of love during throughout the whole game basically, and she still got a decent lineup of costumes added throughout season 4, so she still got a lot of love as well. Iron Giant kind of bounced back a little bit from the other seasons, where he actually came out with he got 3 costumes added throughout the season, with his only exclusive outfit being the Frosty Iron Giant. What's funny is he actually gives him a nose as well. But he also got the Heavy Metal Giant, which was a part of the Prestige store, so at least he got an original new look that's under the rare category. The epic rare category. As well, he gets his Polar Vortex Iron Giant costume. So at least the character got a decent send-off with his costume amounts compared to other seasons. When you really consider that he has 1 exclusive, 2 epics, 1 rare, and then everything else was uncommon, outside of the 1, basic skin he got. Jake, similar to Finn and Banana Guard, got absolutely nothing chewing out season 4. Again, funny how you have a whole season themed on Marceline, and the other Adventure Time characters got absolutely nothing as a result of it. But Jake still got a decent lineup of costumes. He got 2 legendaries, which is just 2 versions of Cake, but then you get 2 epic costumes. Again, at least the Adventure Time characters got a decent amount of costumes that's from the show. itself compared to other characters. I don't know, I feel like Jake had a decent lineup of costumes either way. Jason only got one new costume added throughout the season, and this one was different compared to the others, where this skin was added in the last rift of maybe the entire game. I'm not 100% sure on how the rifts are going to work out for Season 5, but for at least the final rift for Season 4, they made it where it was a rogue rift, where it was basically like a 5-part campaign where you get a certain amount of chests per one, and out of like a 300, this skin for Jason could appear as one of the potential 300 prizes. Um, Again, it's Jason's only exclusive skin at the game, unless, again, Season 5 drops something new with the character. It's funny, he has no rare costume, but I think, for what they did with Jason, considering the context of the character himself, I think they did fairly well with the character in terms of what skins he did get. Especially when you really kind of consider the Jason universe thing. Probably could have caused some restrictions, or at least in terms of some form of license holding, in terms of what they were able to do with Jason. Especially when you consider he's a horror movie villain character compared to everyone else. But still, Jason at least got one little send-off during Season 4. And in fairness, I actually liked the Rogue Rift. It was easier to get than the the Matrix Code costume for Agent Smith. I'll say that at least. LeBron James also similarly got nothing trying out Season 4 whatsoever, so I could say maybe with Season 5, considering Lola, they might add some more Space Jam related stuff to the game before it shuts down, but I don't know of the chances of that. But I feel like with LeBron James, they did the best they can, because you pick a real-life celebrity who appears in an animated film with the Looney Tunes, and like all his rare costumes are all from like Space Jam and New Legacy. So they legit just did as much as they could with this character, with all his uncommons just being because, hey, we had a theme, let's give it to LeBron James as well. First here we got our first case of our last of a few new characters in the game in general, with Marceline. Hopefully that maybe Season 5 will include more costumes with the character, but for now, Marceline still had a decent lineup of costumes when she was added throughout the second half of Season 4, with the Distant Lands Marceline being the Battle Pass reward, when you activate it, instead of being the last prize of the Battle Pass. It's a new iconic look for the character, so obviously they were going to include it here too. But they also got the Sun Hat Marceline, another iconic look for the character. So obviously this works well with her, and being Epic, at least it fits. Again, at least it's from the show. And finally we got the Cat Sweater Marceline. Still a cute, like, Christmas outfit for the character. You really consider it. Still, like, I know technically this means she has the least amount of costumes, but at least compared to Beetlejuice, she has a better lineup. Marvin, similar to other characters, he didn't get anything throughout Season 4 whatsoever. And Marvin really, like Banana Guard and a few other characters, like LeBron, mainly stuck to being the rare and uncommon one. Like, I think outside of, like, Commander X2, which is from the Duck Dodgers TV show, I want to say the golfer Marvin was also from Duck Dodgers, and then you got the Space Jam Toon Squad costumes for him. Marvin really stuck to having a lot of uncommon variants during MultiVersus life. And as the fact that Marvin was my most wanted character initially back when the game launched, because Tom and Jerry were already in the game, I'm glad to have this with Marvin. Like, no matter what, like, all the bitching I'm doing right now about, like, the current state of things with MultiVersus, I still love the game, and I'm still grateful to be able to play it. And at least near the end of the video, I'll explain what's going to happen with MultiVersus, but, for now, I still liked what they did with Marvin. I think it would have been cool to have an epic and a legendary costume for him too, but, who knows, Season 5 might potentially drop something, but for now, Marvin still had a decent lineup of skins. If there's one thing that is consistent between season 3 and 4 is that Morty got Jack. Yeah, Morty for the second season in a row, and who knows, maybe in general, got no costumes during out season 4. So hopefully, I know there is still, like, I think one skin with Morty that's in the files. That's still for Evil Morty related, because God forbid we haven't had enough of Evil Morty. So I don't know if it's could potentially planned to come out later during season 5. But for Morty, it's kind of weird because I feel like he there's for him he still got some decent picks. Like of course, Evil Morty makes sense. And at least President Morty gave an alternative route to get the evil version of the character. And the other ones, like, I still think the X-Icon Agent Morty thing was pretty cool to have for the character. But it feels like for Morty, they really could have done a little bit better for the character as a result. But as it is, Morty still had a fairly, I want to say, alright lineup of skins, really, to be honest. But still, he's the only one out of the entire roster that is consistent that we have 2 seasons in, and he didn't get anything at all during out those 2 seasons. Nubia got 2 new additions to her costumes, with her iconic armor, Nubia, which is the only exclusive costume she got, as well as her Tricon possessed Nubia. So, all she needed was one more, like, a legendary, and she would have had something for all of it. I don't know, I feel like with Nubia, like, you saw there, like, out of all the characters, I generally don't play her. I don't play her often. Maybe not as much as Black Adam, because at least with Nubia, I can play her, but I just never got into the character in general. Like the character herself when she was added to MultiVersus. Like, she's been the one sticking point out of the entire roster up to this point with the relaunch. Like, even Banana Guard, at least you can say, like, ironic, like, funny, as like a joke character. Nubia, not so much. I don't know. She's kind of the mystery. It's just kind of weird on her placement in general. On to the second new character that was been added to now season 4, Raven, who also similar to Marceline only got 3 costumes, where she got her only exclusive outfit with her Mystic Fenza Raven, which was a part of the first half of the Battle Pass when you activate it. So again, for those who did get it, you're lucky, and for those who didn't, I guess you're unlucky. Then you get the Rule Breaker Raven, which is honestly, I think, is still a sick looking design for Raven. Like legit, it looks like a good look for the character. And then finally, you get the White Raven, which is basically like the same thing as the Black Adam thing, where it's just the character in the opposite color thing. So that's all it is. But I feel like if Season 5 was going to add any more potential costumes for Raven, I think she still has some potential with it. Rain Dog surprisingly only got 1 new costume added throughout the season, and that is with the Unicorn Dog. Which I still, I think, like, at least visually looks different. But yeah, it just continues to have a long lineup of skins for the character, which I'm sure maybe for Season 5 they might potentially drop 1 more new costume with the character, because this has been player first games with the character, not Warner Brothers. As far as I know, I don't know how the copyright with this character is going to be like now because of this, but for now this is it for Rain Dog. For an original character they really tried pushing. And at least by season 4, like I said, they kind of gave up. They kind of gave up with the Unicorn Dog being the only thing the character got. So that's at least that for Rain Dog. Still a decent, like, variety for the character, especially considering it's an original character. But still, it really did focus on the character a lot. Next up is Rick, who similar to Morty got nothing, but at least Rick had something in season 3 initially, with Rick Prime, even if the character wasn't 100% accurate to how the character is in the show, but still, at least Rick got something during season 3, whereas obviously here, he got absolutely nothing. But in fairness, I liked Rick's costumes. Rick Prime, being the exception to the rule, because it's not Rick Prime at all. Like, outside of having him being villainous, there's nothing about Rick Prime that really works with the show. I still think Rick had a decent lineup of skins in general. Next up is Samurai Jack, who only got one new costume added throughout the season, which is the Yoho Jack, which also, like the heavy metal giant, is also a part of the Prestige store. So if you're lucky to get that skin while it's there, you're lucky, I guess. But that's all that Samurai Jack got. I feel like there was still a lot of potential with Samurai Jack in terms of costumes, because apart from Lost Jack, why just Warrior Jack and then this? That's all you really got from the actual Samurai Jack show. There was still like a lot of looks you could use for Samurai Jack. Him as a gangster, I'm thinking of the name, like the music one, like the music one he wore in one episode. There was a lot of looks you could have given Jack that would have fit on MultiVersus. Even him, like, just being, like, badly bruised would have worked, like, as a rare costume, or even an uncommon if you wanted to. Still, though, Jack got a decent lineup. I think it could have been a little bit better, but for what we did get with the character, I still think it, at least focus more on the Adult Swim side of the character, but still looks good. Shaggy got 2 skins initially during the season. I thought he was going to have 3, because there was a files that showed that he also was going to get like a the exclusive skin type, like with Agent Smith, Jason, Nubia, and Iron Giant, but he never ended up getting that. The most he got with Shaggy during that season 4 was the Winter Shaggy, which I think was even added back in season, I think one of the riffs from season 3 potentially had this skin up in there, or at least maybe it was just Marceline's, one of the Marceline's riffs. I'm not 100% certain, but at least one of the riffs did have the skin. You had this skin for Shaggy available to fight. So at least Shaggy got something, but as well he got the Polar Vortex Shaggy. It's really about Shaggy's placement, because obviously this game focused more on having Shaggy be based on the Ultra Instinct Shaggy meme, rather than actually Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo series. I still think Shaggy plays well, and his skins have a decent variety. Because he's one of the few characters that had this Batman 85 thing where initially he came out with a black shirt, but then they changed it to yellow. But they realized, people liked the black look with the character, so let's make them 2 separate skins instead. So, I don't know, I feel like, Shaggy had somewhat decent, stuff. You have Uncle Shag where you had, the Showdown Shaggy, I believe, is actually from, I think, one of the direct-to-DVD Scooby-Doo films, and obviously, you got Mystery Incorporated. It's a mixture where they have a lot of original stuff made for Shaggy, with some basing off Scooby-Doo, which, yeah, I'm going to say, outright, I know this is not a new opinion, but the fact that this game turned out its year did not include the titular character himself in here at all is such a Warner Brothers move, to be honest. You kind of think that maybe with the last season you could potentially add even more than 2 characters. Give us Scooby. Well, I mean, it's still, that's a minor, rant stuff, but, Shaggy had a decent amount of costumes throughout the whole game, and at least for season 2, season 4, he still got, 2 new skins. So, it would have been 3 if that exclusive one went true, but I don't think Shaggy was that hungry for new skins anyway, considering how many he has. Steven also didn't get anything at all churning out season 4. So the Steven Universe side of things also kind of got a little bit short-staffed, like the Rick and Morty side, but at least Garnet was given the Plat Fighter t-shirt skin. Whereas the titular character himself still got nothing throughout Season 4. So, there's that for Steven. Next up is Stripe, who, also like Gizmo, only got one new costume added throughout the season. And well, it's kind of doing this thing where if Gizmo has a Stripe, if Gizmo has a skin, Stripe's going to have the similar skin. Like, legit. I think outside of the Christmas outfit for Gizmo, almost every skin I think Gizmo has, Stripe is also given. And because I think I like Stripes a little bit more because it fits with his character a little bit better, but still, it's weird with how Stripe has just basically been like the mirror version of Gizmo in terms of his skins. But still, at least for Stripe, he still got something turned out Season 4. Superman, surprisingly, only got one new skin turned out Season 4, and it had to be the most expensive with his Tricon-possessed Superman outfit, giving him his second legendary. But Superman, it's obviously Superman. They were bound to give him a lot of looks during out the game. So Superman definitely had a lot of priority. I can't tell personally outside of, Clark Kent, Black Lantern, Superman, that which ones are actually based on the comics and which ones are just made up exclusively for MultiVersus. Well, outside of obviously the Afterlife and the Day and the Dead and the Love Struck Superman. There's a decent amount of stuff here. I can't tell like some stuff's original, but some stuff I can't tell is if it's directly from the comics. But still, Superman got a decent amount of costumes throughout the game's lifespan. So there's that for the Man of Steel. Taz, considering how he was the one character that also didn't get any new skins throughout Season 3, much like with Morty, did bounce back similarly like Agent Smith, where he got 2 new costumes throughout the season, with his exclusive outfit with the Mystic Fencer Taz, but he also has the MultiVersus School Troublemaker Taz. So, considering all things, Taz still had a decent amount of costumes. A bit more expensive compared to Marvin's, but definitely a little bit cheaper than Bugs Bunny's anyway. And who knows what the hell Lola's going to come out with, but Taz, he still got a decent amount of costumes, all considering, things anyway. The Joker definitely got a lot of love during Season 4. Where also, like Batman, he came with 4 new costumes. In fact, outside of the Polar Vortex event, the Joker had a costume per every new event during out Season 4. We had his one exclusive skin with the Laughing Death. We had basically a lot of rare costumes, where we got the Christmas with the Joker, Professor J, and finally, his Tricon-possessed Joker. So, yeah, they definitely loved the Joker during out Season 4, and who the hell knows how much more they're going to add with Season 5 with the character before it ends, but I guess it's kind of fitting when you really consider that this will be the last time we'll hear Mark Hamill as the Joker and Kevin Conroy as Batman. But it makes me kind of sad that this is how it'll go. Like, you can't even... Like, if you want to remember how these two sounded for the final encounter with each other, beyond the animated stuff, this is the game, and you have to basically gotta look through YouTube to find all the voice lines now, so it's kind of sad, but, with the Joker, he did go out with a bang, with a lot of new costumes during out Season 4. The Powerpuff Girls, it's not the Beetlejuice thing where they weren't given that many new skins, which I guess, when you have them being like the Season 3 Battle Pass characters, it's kind of, like, I don't know, it's kind of shocking, because I think there's still a lot you could have done with the Powerpuff Girls. But for what they did get, I think, we got like 3 costumes from the show, and then 2 originals. Like, of course, we got the Rowdy Bell Boys from Season 3, where the only new skin the girls got throughout the season was the big-time Powerpuff Girls. An iconic look for the trio. We've seen these 3 like this in many episodes, so having it in MultiVersus makes sense. I still think the Powerpuff Girls could have given us slightly better costumes, but you got 3 from the show itself and 2 originals. Which, probably the Batman 85 one was probably the worst one for the trio, if you ask me. But everything else about the girls has been good, to be honest. So at least the girls still got something turning out season 4. As a Tom and Jerry main, it hurts to say that for potentially the last time, we'll probably get new costumes for the duo. Season 4 got us nothing. Yeah, Tom and Jerry got absolutely nothing turn out season 4. When you really consider it, Tom and Jerry ain't that hungry for it. They definitely got a lot of costumes, but still, it's kind of disappointing because I honestly think they are still the best animated characters in the entirety of the game. And obviously, from looks this outside of Beetlejuice, Nubia, and a few other characters, the smaller ones like with Marceline Raven, Tom and Jerry is the only one from the closed alpha that I've gotten all the skins for. So it's disappointing. Who knows? Maybe season 5 could potentially add one more costume for the duo, particularly the Texas Tom costume that has been in the game's files since I want to say the open beta. And that could be a good legendary skin for the duo. So hopefully that be added for season 5 because I know there's actually one new costume for Rick that has been shown from the updates with MultiVersus a while back when Marceline was added. So I know there is still, I honestly think a similar game I'll get into later. Season 5 could potentially just add all the stuff that was meant to be planned for the longest time and just make that the battle pass. But for this season, Tom and Jerry still got nothing, which is disappointing as a Tom and Jerry main, but it is the first time not getting anything. So it's not like the duo are that suffering from it either. Once again, Velma definitely got a lot of love too, as I think she also got 4 new costumes throughout the whole season, with her exclusive outfit with the Mystic Fencer Velma. There's also the MultiVersus School Victorian Velma. And then you also have the Winter Velma, so she also gets the winter themed costume like Shaggy. And finally she gets the Polar Vortex Velma. So yeah, Velma got a lot of love, which is nothing new for Velma. I mean, for feck's sake, this character definitely got a lot of love in general throughout MultiVersus anyway. And finally, at least for this video, we got our last character, Wonder Woman, who also got 2 new costumes added throughout the season, with the Mystic Fencer Wonder Woman, as well as the Coach Diane. At least in terms of, actually I forgot to press attention about the other characters, at least in terms of things okay, so, that's just going to be I'm going to go back on quickly now. I think in general, a lot of the characters, Wonder Woman, she had a decent lineup. Again, I can't tell personally, apart from some obvious exceptions, that I can't tell where certain costumes are actually based on, sort of material. I don't know, probably Black Lantern Wonder Woman, the Quinzel Wonder Woman, or whatever how you pronounce that. Obviously, 1984, I definitely recognize that, and Bloodlines probably is based on the comics. But that's also where my point comes in, where for potentially the last time we'll see all these characters together, duking it out and all that stuff. In terms of franchise representation, it's weird because you get Agent Smith, who outside of I want to say Cybersmith, he got nothing from the actual Matrix movies themselves. Which, in fairness, I don't think Agent Smith had many looks to begin with when you really consider things, so it made sense for him to not get much. With Arya, she had at least I want to say 2 costumes from the show with the Water Dancer and the Arya. So at least she had a decent amount of things from Game of Thrones, but a lot of it was original with the character. With Banana Guard, I want to say obviously probably Bandage Banana Guard and the Lady Banana Guard are the only real 2 things with the character that from Adventure Time, where everything else is new to MultiVersus. Batman, I want to say, obviously I think maybe A lot of it's original, but from I want to say almost everything from the exclusive up to the epic variant. Well, obviously outside of the Plat Fighter and I want to say the Headmaster Bruce Wayne. Everything else has been based on something with Batman. Like this one's even from the 1989 film. So Batman had a decent amount of skins that were basically from the actual Batman and DC stuff. With Beetlejuice, I'll say probably the Pterodor Beetlejuice is the only thing. And even then, I feel like this skin was actually picked because I think the second Beetlejuice movie used this specific look for the character. He dressed up like a Salvador. Whereas everything else with Beetlejuice has been new to MultiVersus. Again, Black Adam, I'd probably say a decent amount of skins from the, like, I'd say outside of obviously the Heart of Trigon and the Trigon Possessed Black Adam. All of the skins are probably like original with 3 based on the comics. Where Bugs, I think he had a decent lineup where it's mainly a lot of the uncommons were new for the character. With everything else from the rares to the epics, they were all based on something related to the Looney Tunes with his shorts. When it comes to Finn, obviously I say his uncommons are like the outside of his pajama, Finn. Everything else with the character was probably based on the show. So I think Finn definitely had the most costumes that's, they pulled from Adventure Time itself. Garnet's probably a similar one where maybe outside of the kinda love Garnet and all our uncommons, and outside of course the Plat Fighter, everything else with Garnet was probably from Steven Universe. Like at any point during out the franchise is history. I think you get to Gizmo, like I said, outside of Combat Gizmo, I think everything for the character was, made up. Whereas this one's obviously from the second Gremlins movie. Harley Quinn probably had a similar thing where a lot of her uncommons were new. I think her outside of her love rave Harley Quinn, like everything else I want to say with the character was probably based on some form of comic with her. Iron Giant's probably another one like Agent Smith where because there's not much with Iron Giant as it is, everything with the character outside I want to say maybe a bit of the beach outfit, but even that's kind of a stretch. Everything else with Iron Giant has been made exclusively for MultiVersus. Jake, like I said, the outside of maybe his uncommons, everything else with Jake was, using from Adventure Time. And then when you get to Jason, I think only Uber Jason's the only thing that actually they used from at least the Warner Brothers side of Jason, from like Jason Goes to Hell up to the 2009 remake, because they own Jason X, so they can use Uber Jason here, whereas everything else is brand new to MultiVersus. LeBron James, like I said, it's one of those rare cases where it's a 50-50 line, where all his rare costumes are from his appearances in Space Jam New Legacy, while everything else with the character is made exclusively for MultiVersus. Marceline, I'd say she's one of the few characters again where she has perfect representation from the show. Like all her skins, maybe 3 skins obviously, but all 3 of them have been used in the show in the past. So she's the only one I'd say that has the most perfect in line costume representation from the franchise she's in. Marvin, it kind of feels like it's kind of 50-50, where a lot of his ones are uncommon, obviously, so there's no real like doing CDs and the Looney Tunes stuff, but I'm thinking outside of the Galactic Romance Marvin, everything else with his rare costumes are all from Looney Tunes stuff, but it's like between the 2 Space Jam films and 2 episodes, like his main look in Duck Dodgers, and then 1 episode of Duck Dodgers, where he's a golfer. That's about it when it comes to Marvin's outfits. And with Morty, I feel like, obviously outside of the X-Icon Morty and all his uncommon skins, Morty had 3 skins that is from the show. So, and about one of them is Morty on his own. Again, Nubia, You couldn't tell me if these were actually from the comics, maybe outside of the future state Nubia. That's the only one I'll probably say it's from the comics. Or any other previous material with the character, but that's about it when it comes to Nubia. Raven, maybe White Raven, because I think that has been used a few times in the Teen Titans series. Rule Breaker Raven, I want to say is like from a potential thing with the series. I'm not 100% certain on. But, you know, Mystic Venza obviously is a new look for the character. I can say that one with confidence. Rain Dog's an original character, so therefore he doesn't count in this regard. And when it comes to Rick, like maybe, you know, outside of his icon skin and all his uncommons, you know, obviously his ones are also from the show too. You know, his mech suit, the Steel Till Rick and Rick Prime. So he had at least like maybe like an almost 50-50 line too, like with Morty of having skins that are based on the show. Then we get to Samurai Jack, who also has a 50-50 line, where, you know, half of his skins are from the show, but two of them particularly from the Adult Swim era, and then after that, you got 3 new looks for the character. And then you have Shaggy, who's like a mixed mash of stuff. Like, you have some stuff I would say is from Scooby-Doo, but a lot of it is made up exclusively for MultiVersus. With Steven himself, I want to say he has like maybe 4 costumes that's from the show. But everything else, like outside of his Coach Steven outfit, everything else with Steven was made up exclusively for MultiVersus. So that's like 4 skins that's from the show. And you get Stripe, where, funny enough with Stripe, I don't think any, like, to be on his deformed look, I don't think Stripe actually has anything from the actual Gremlins movies themselves. Like, he never actually wore a combat suit, as far as I'm aware, from, like, the first movie. So, Stripe is maybe one of the few characters where all his skins are new to MultiVersus as complete original costumes, compared to every other character in the game. And you get Superman. Again, I can tell some might be more accurate to the comics, but a lot of it, yeah, definitely original for the Man of Steel. Taz, similarly, I'd say, has a few, like, I think, like, obviously, the Tasmanian She-Devil, yeah, that's from the Looney Tunes series. That's been, like, a recent new thing. And I'd say all his rare costumes are from previous Looney Tunes material. But then outside of maybe the Beachcomber Taz, I want to say everything else with a character, you know, for like these 5 skins that's from Looney Tunes. Everything else is new to MultiVersus. Obviously, then you get this Joker, and it's like a mishmash. I see some stuff that is based on the, like, all his uncommon stuff, definitely new to MultiVersus. Laughing Death, I want to say, is maybe an original thing made for MultiVersus, as well as Professor J and the Trigon Possessed Joker, but everything else from the Batman Who Laughs to the Dark Prince Charming, I want to say, is all based on some form of material with the character in the DC Comics. So that's really it with the Joker. Again, the Powerpuff Girls is one where I'd say they have a bit more from the show with only 2 new things that's from MultiVersus itself. So the Powerpuff Girls have a bit more. Tom and Jerry, I want to say they too also have like a half and half thing. Like, obviously Batman and Joker, I've seen merchandise that features the 2 as Batman and the Joker. So technically it's not new to MultiVersus. At least maybe anime-wise is new, but we have seen certain merch that puts Tom and Jerry in the role of Batman and the Joker. Like, we have the TNJ.exe, that's new to MultiVersus with the duo. And of course you have all the uncommons, but even then, they got 2 uncommons that isn't. You have the Detectives one, which is from the 2014 show, and then you got the Pirates one, which is from the Shiver Me Timbers direct-to-DVD film. I want to say that all of Tom and Jerry's rare costumes are all based on something from the franchise. You know, Baker Street is from the Meet Sherlock Holmes direct-to-DVD film. The Karate Matt Chaos one is probably one from, I believe, the Chain Dinch era of the duo. We've seen their seaside outfits plenty of times. Same goes with their tennis one from that one MGM short. And their vampire look is actually from the 2014 show as well. So Tom and Jerry have like a 50-50 thing of skins that are made from multiverses, but then some stuff from the 85 years of the duo's history. Then get into Velma, which is kind of like a mishmash where I could say some stuff is probably from the Scooby-Doo franchise, while some of it has been completely new for Velma. And of course, like I said, Wonder Woman, she could be 50-50. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain on it beyond the, the quintessential one and the 1984 Wonder Woman outfit, as well as the Black Lantern one and Bloodlines. So, I don't know. It's kind of a random change it there, I know, but it's just like when I keep talking about this game, really, man. Like, I love MultiVersus, and in fairness, the game is still going down. Like, the main thing is obviously Season 5 will begin on February 4th. And it will end on May 30th. And when that happens, that's also when MultiVersus, in general, the online support ends. Now, the game will still be playable for those who are able to play. Because the thing is, from what I've seen from the website, if you play MultiVersus at any point between February 4th to May 30th, they will have a thing where they save a local save file for you. And connect it to your console of choice, either your PlayStation, Microsoft Store, Epic Games Store, or Steam. And whatever you get up to May 30th will be saved in that file. And then after that, you can basically play MultiVersus offline from there after that. The game will be delisted, so if you accidentally deleted MultiVersus, you might be out of luck there unless you can somehow re-add it back. But as far as I know, you can still play MultiVersus after May 30th. It'll be 100% offline. But again, that's from what I hear. You can still play MultiVersus, with co-op versus it, go against the AI and bots and all that stuff. And you can still get friends to do some local plays. Local matches, probably custom matches will probably still be a thing in the game. Probably, hopefully. But yeah, that's kind of it. Again, I will still be making more MultiVersus videos until the game starts to end. I feel like even after it ends, I might occasionally still make a MultiVersus video here and there, because I still genuinely love playing this game. I will still play MultiVersus from Season 5. I will still make a video related to Aquaman and Lola Bunny when they do come out. And I was originally planning to do a Season 4 ranking video, much like I did with Season 3. But at this rate, I'd rather wait until both near the game's final week or so. Before the game shuts down, I'll then make one last ranking video for MultiVersus, including where I place Raven and Marceline, but then where I rank Aquaman and Lola Bunny after that. So I'll still make a gameplay video for Aquaman because he's a part of the first tier of the Battle Pass, so I'll get him straight away, while Lola Bunny will come out later throughout the season. Not in the same way as, Beetlejuice or Nubia, or even Marceline. She'll just come out from a calendar thing, much like Banana Guard, basically. Like, she'll be added to the calendar system like Banana Guard previously was before you could just get him as it is. Again, it's disappointing to hear that this game is dying a second time from the open beta, but it's one of those things where I can't blame people for saying that. And no one has, there isn't anyone to blame but Warner Brothers themselves for this decision. Plant vs. Games, I don't know how much involved in these decisions they make, to be frankly honest. I'm not a game developer. I'm not ones who figure out, okay, when we're adding this skin or this emote or when this thing comes out. I'm not. I'm just a guy who plays the game. So I can't tell from a business side of things on how to make things work. But definitely, from the looks of things, Warner Brothers was very greedy. That's kind of why stuff like the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League fails, because if you made stuff like the characters themselves are perfectly fine. I think every character in the game is playable. But you lock them. You all lock the characters by either getting character currencies, or the fire vote. Fighter vote, I never tried it once because I had character tickets from the open beta founder packs. So I still got 58 fighter tickets, as well as 90k character currency, and all that is completely for nothing now. Whereas look at Marvel Rivals, they get every character, even post-launch now when you have Mr. Fantastic and Stu Storm. Marvel Rivals knew to unlock all the characters for free. It's the skins and extra little bits that you can spend on them, but generally their main gameplay with the characters was straight away unlocked. So therefore, even if you never spent a single penny on Marvel Rivals, you can still play the game with all the characters unlocked, and you can still get to test them out. What does MultiVersus have? Shaggy and Banana Guard, where you have to unlock everyone else, and now, from what I'm hearing, if you don't get the characters until May 30th when the game shuts down and all the offline support is all it has left, you might potentially might lose playing as certain characters for the rest of time by that point. So it's a frustrating experience with MultiVersus where I love the game, and I am still extremely happy to be making videos of it. I still plan to exactly like do gameplay videos of Taz, Tom and Jerry, Velma, and Wonder Woman, because they're the only characters left I haven't made a gameplay video on this channel. And I might do a second gameplay video for the Joker and Powerpuff Girls, like I did with Jason, like I did with I'm speaking too fast. Like I did with Banana Guard and Jason when I got to them. You know, because I play those characters straight away when I unlock them, and then when I did the Aria, video down to, obviously Wonder Woman, I then gave characters like Banana Guard, Jason, a second gameplay video. And more likely, I'll probably give Agent Smith a second gameplay video now because of all of his skins. I don't know, I'm not 100% on that yet, but at least for now, I'm planning to do at least, do a Taz video. I definitely plan to make a Tom and Jerry video. If nothing else, I'm making a Tom and Jerry gameplay video. And as well with the Wacky Weekend stuff, which is up and running now, this day as is a Friday, I am planning to do one more video with Wonder Woman and Black Adam, because they're the last two characters I haven't done a Wacky Weekends video with. And then when I get Aquaman and Lola Bunny, then I might make that my final Wacky Weekends video on this channel in general, when those two characters drop. I still have no idea on how exactly beyond the tier list video, I don't know how I'll exactly make my final MultiVersus video, at least on the online side of things. I might still do maybe an offline matchup here and there, like, I don't know. I still want to make videos for MultiVersus, but when you can only fight against bots so many times, what else can you really do with it, to be honest? I don't know. Again, I still love MultiVersus. I'm definitely rambling. I don't know what I'm saying, in general after a certain point, but generally, I love MultiVersus. I wish it was given a better chance, because again, when that relaunch happened, that definitely killed interest for the game, and now it's died a second time. And I feel like if you die a second time, I think that goes down by history, where now whenever people are going to bring on MultiVersus, they're going to point out how much of a failure it was, and how such a cool concept, how an easy to really do concept, like put Warner Bros. Characters in a platform fighter and make that work. The open beta, like, that was successful. Even the relaunch was very successful, like, in terms of how many players were playing it. But now, by the time May 30th comes, it would literally be a year when MultiVersus would have relaunched. And look what happened in between those 365 days. It barely even lasted a year. At least it lasted a year compared to another game I previously played, Crash Team Rumble, which lasted for 10 months. Not even a full year, 10 months, and dead. So, I don't know, I'm definitely rambling at this point. I'm just upset. I'm upset, I'm not emotionally upset, as you can tell. I'm not that upset emotionally. I probably am because of how much money I put in this fucking game. And look how many, XPs here. Like, I don't know how the XP thing's gonna work now because Gleamium is going to be removed. Well, okay, like, the option to purchase Gleamium is removed. But then you still got, like, all the characters here. Like, I still have, like, Beetlejuice close to, like, level 15. I'm getting Jason and Harley Quinn up to level 14 now. And, Nubia, she's getting close to level 8. And Arya is, like, close to level 10. Still, it sucks, to be honest, that this is the way the game goes. But, hey, my memories from MultiVersus will still remain. As long as my YouTube channel stays up, and as long as my social media accounts still remain up too, I'm still going to love MultiVersus, and I still have plans to make little stuff with the game here and there. Videos, not 100% certain on, but in terms of, like, little ideas here and there related to MultiVersus, that's definitely still going to happen. I don't know. I can't really think of much else ways to end this video. Just, it sucks that this is how it will go. And more likely, I'll probably make one last video with MultiVersus somehow that isn't the ranking video. That's kind of it then after that. All I can say is, at least for the year that's been around, thank you, MultiVersus. It sucks that this is the way you gotta go out, but for those 3 years in general, like ever since the closed alpha days, I had a lot of fun playing you, and to play your first games, I hope things go well, because Warner Brothers is, ever since the Discovery, like, even Warner Bros. Itself wasn't that great, but ever since the Discovery's merger with the company, it's been disastrous, and you're just another casualty among 100 other projects that Warner Brothers had going. So, rest in peace, MultiVersus, and until then, I'll see you guys until my next videos related to MultiVersus, until the game's closure, and just other stuff related to the channel, like the Sonic and Friends videos, the films stuff, and even Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. Like, that game has a better chance now with the campaign videos, the campaign interaction videos now. So, I guess there's nothing else to say, but see you later.